Nothing is ever good in the extreme way unless it's metal.
Wow, I couldn't have said it better myself. Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns, and today we're here not to talk about a specific topic, but just some of the interesting stories of the week. You know, stories like Kirk Hammett forgetting how to play Nothing Else Matters live.
I did not.
That's a very interesting one.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I understand more so if it was James forgetting the lyrics, because, dude, there's a lot of lyrics to remember.
I don't know. I feel like lyric-wise it's probably easier.
I don't know. You could have a brain fart forget a specific part of
but
the song.
Then he can just, like, you know, make a grunt and it'll all be forgiven.
Or just tell them, no pun intended, or just turn to the audience and say, like, sing along with me or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's easier.
It's easier.
It's easier to hide it. It's easier to hide it.
But I kind of understand. I understand it a bit. I mean, it's kind of like when you forget blinking or whatever. Like, you blink very normally, it's muscle memory. But when you blink by yourself, then you can't stop blinking because you're having that muscle spasm.
All I gotta say is I'm sure he's played Nothing Else Matters more than 1,000 times. So he must have had like a lapse of memory, or you know, his mind wandered somewhere else, and
he was thinking about like tacos or something, like chicken tacos.
Somebody flashed him in the audience or something, and he was like, "Oh, boobs!" And
I feel like he's seen enough titties.
That's true too. That's true.
They've got to be like a mesmerizing pair.
Yes, it's got to be something like, you know, like out of Mount Olympus.
Yeah,
something
like
great.
Mount Olympus of titties.
Like where the sun shines on it, is like this beam of light on it. It's like, oh, you know, like has to be something along those lines. So, anyways, that happened. WACKEN happened last week, and it was a shit show with the mud. And I don't know if you heard about that.
I did not.
They actually had to stop people from entering WACKEN at a certain point because the grounds were not safe enough for them to host everybody. So they offered people refunds on the tickets. Now, that's great and all, but if you travel from across the world to go there, that's not going to help you that much. I mean, the refund on your tickets, all right, like you get to go the next year, but what happens to the money that you spent on the airfare and everything else?
I mean, yeah, it's probably worse for people who are also not in Europe too. That's probably even worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if you're in Europe,
if you're in Germany and you get a refund on your ticket, okay, you get back in the car and you drive back home. Okay, whatever.
Or even if you're in a close enough country, it's also like $100.
If you flew from Australia, you know how bad that is.
Exactly.
So they had a cap. They had a number that they could allow in based on the grounds, the safety of the. It was muddy as shit. Like it was like insane. Actually, some of the shows had to get canceled because there was no safety to have the bands perform on the stages because the grounds were not solid. It was like quicksand or whatever. Yeah, so it was a shit show. Now, I'm not going to say it's the funny thing, but the interesting thing is that Metal Days that was happening at the exact same time, they offered for people who couldn't get into WACKEN because of this limitation that they didn't have to buy a ticket. They could come to Metal Days for free. I think it was the first 500 or 1,000 people could come in for free and use the WACKEN ticket to get in Metal Days. But then Metal Days got canceled because there was a fucking storm. It rained like shit. Like, it was just, everything was flooded. Cars were flooded. Bands couldn't perform. Everybody was stuck there. They couldn't go anywhere. They had to make, like, this housing in gyms and stuff like that. It was an absolute disaster.
What the fuck?
Absolute disaster. Like, it was just, like, it happened in one place and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm glad I didn't go to that one. And then the one that you went to, like, it's even worse than that one. So, what a week for metal festivals across Europe.
God is crying on Germany for some reason.
Well, Metal Days is not in Germany, but okay, close enough. In Europe.
In Europe, but I'm also saying Germany.
I think it's Slovenia that they're in.
Oh, really?
I think it's Slovenia. Don't quote me on it, but I think it is.
But I'm talking about WACKEN, because for it to be muddy, if it has
it's not out of the. It's been muddy before, but not to this extent, where even the structures are not safe for bands to go on and perform.
But how much does it have to rain for it to get that muddy?
A lot. Look, if you guys go and check out some pictures from Metal Days, the town where the festival is held, you can barely see any. Well, I mean, you could see the houses, you could see the rooftops. That's how much it rained that it was just water everywhere. It was insane. There was one video that they posted saying, if your car is in this video, please do not try to drive it. It would like be impossible to drive it. There was like water up to the roof of the car.
If
like,
this is your car,
if this is your car, you're fucked.
if the car in this video is yours,
you're fucked.
God has taken it. He's taking it back.
Yeah. Good luck with driving it home. So anyhow, so as far as festivals is concerned, and WACKEN still went on. It was still a great show, but a lot of people couldn't get in because of this, and it was super muddy. So you see everybody wearing galoshes.
I think it was a good year for us not to go.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on going a couple of years from now when I turn 50.
Oh,
I think it would be like a great
big
thing.
5-0.
Yeah, a big 5-0 event and go there. Ben is thinking of going as well because I think he's 45 at the time or 40 at the time or whatever it is. So it's a big number for him. It's a big number for me. So and he has experience of being there before. I don't want my first time to go there to be just
lost.
Yeah, I want to go with somebody who's been there before, so I feel a little bit more at ease, less stressed because he doesn't camp either. He stays at a hotel, which is, for a man my age, that's what I'm doing. There's no fucking way I'm camping. So I'm thinking of doing that. And you have the option, if you want to come with us, you can come with us. If you don't want to, I have some friends to go with. So it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So all of this happened last week. Another interesting thing that happened last week was Behemoth donated money to UNICEF in Poland. And the money got rejected because they're Behemoth.
That's crazy. That's fucking
There's children dying of hunger all around the world. But we're not willing to take Behemoth's money because it's unholy.
It's unholy money. They made the money doing unholy things, and they're trying to do good with the unholy money.
I don't even know what to say about that.
That's like religion to the extreme. It's like, you may be starving, but these people, they want to give you money, but I wouldn't.
I don't know, man. That's like you drowning, and the person saving you is an atheist, and you're like, no.
Just let me drown.
No, I'd rather drown than be saved by a man who doesn't believe in God.
Like, wouldn't you think that is an act of God? If you're like that Bible thumping, wouldn't you think, wow, God is in a weird way helping these
God
kids?
does work in mysterious ways.
Exactly. In a mysterious way, he's helping these kids by having people who don't believe in him give them money. Like, wouldn't you spin it around in some weird way like that?
Yeah, you could also say that God, through mysterious ways, touch Nurgle, and therefore he's donating money.
Money, exactly. Like, no, that makes them look like the bad guy. It makes Behemoth look like
Dude, they are the bad. I mean, religious people are the bad guys regardless.
Yeah.
Especially fanatics. I don't mind people who believe in religion or are religious to a certain extent or spiritual, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. I by all means, believe in whatever it is that you want to believe.
The thing is, I also enjoy learning about people's religions, but I don't want to be forced to learn about it.
I'm a person that I'm kind of pregnant when it comes to religion and spirituality. There's certain things that I believe in. There's certain things that I don't. I kind of take.
I find it all interesting.
I find it interesting, but what I'm saying is, I don't really judge necessarily people who are like me or who are even a little bit more religious than me. The people that I'm fearful of is the ones that are super fanatic. And I don't care what religion you believe in. If you're taking it to the extreme. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want anything to do with you.
Nothing is ever good in the extreme way unless it's metal.
Wow, I couldn't have said it better myself. The only thing that's good that's extreme, it's metal. Okay, perfect. Couldn't have said it better. I don't know. I saw some pictures of some relatives of mine, like, kneeling down with people putting their hands on them with a mic in hand. Like, anytime I see that kind of shit, I'm like, fuck. Bring the Kool-Aid. Bring the Kool-Aid. I don't know, man.
Oh, you mean like those cults who
yes,
who poison the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, because to me, anytime you start to push that kind of, when you go in that kind of route, you're not that far from that.
God, bring the Holy Spirit upon this man.
I don't know, man. That kind of shit. It's like I laugh at it because it's like, how can you take all of this shit so seriously? Like, really, like, I don't know. So the whole UNICEF thing to me. It's utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Just think about it. How many churches in Italy take money from mobsters that kill people? You know what I mean? That do hideous things. As far as I know, Behemoth has never done anything hideous. I mean, they don't believe in God or Jesus or whatever, but like...
At least the Mafia guys
their money is as good as anybody else's.
At least the Mafia guys believe in God.
Well, that's why they give money. It's to get their sins forgiven.
Exactly.
I don't know, man.
That's what Nurgle was doing.
Dude, you have a church that's filled with pedophiles and his money somehow is tainted? That's where you draw
where
you
we
draw the
draw a
line.
line.
That's the hill you're dying on here. Seriously, like there's children starving, but those children would not eat food bought by the devil's money.
Wouldn't you? But like I said, it would be like if you're in that situation, wouldn't you just think it's an act of God?
That's how they should have spent
That's how
it.
they should have spent it. If it's like we don't want to take his money, but we need to feed these people, and in our mind, in our good conscience, we can't let these people starve.
Now, on a side note, he's been able to donate the same money to another non-profit organization. So,
Perfect.
So the money has still
So
gone
the
to a good
non-profit,
cause.
we're okay with the devil's money.
No, they're non-profit. They're not making money off of it. Their point is using the money to help people who need to be helped, and that's how the whole thing should be.
That's how
It shouldn't be about where the money is coming from, considering how corrupt your own organizations are and the people that you have running them, who are not necessarily the most God-fearful people. It's irrelevant. It should be about helping. But then again, I have a whole issue with this. Let's not go back to that fact that the church wanted money to build a church here, while meanwhile they also wanted money for people starving in Trinidad and Tobago. Just build a smaller church and give the money to the people starving in Trinidad.
Exactly.
And Tobago. So I
because
find
the church was gonna cost like what, 5-6 million.
12 million.
12 million. Could have made a $6 million church and given.
Buy a house for 2.5 and
Call it a church.
and make it like open concept and just call it a church. Like,
there's a lot of like open fields in our area here. Just like buy a little.
Just continue to do it in a gym. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, like it didn't bother anyone.
Donate that money and feed. Like the Catholic Church has so much money they could end world hunger. That's how much money they have. And if they were really following the commands of their supreme leader, they would fucking
Supreme leader?
Yeah, isn't that God? That's their supreme leader.
I don't know about supreme. So when I think of supreme leader, I
Think of Star Wars?
No, Kim Jong Un.
Oh, I thought Star Wars.
Kim Jong Jesus.
So just fucking in hunger. Like I always laugh when I hear people saying, "Oh, I'm fucking," Elon Musk is not a good guy because he has enough money could end world hunger.
But he never.
Fuck, the Catholic Church should have ended world hunger.
Yeah.
That's kind of like one of their requisites that they have on their resume.
When he got rich, it wasn't like, okay, well now I gotta be Jesus. Like, no, there's people wanting to be Jesus over here. Like,
there's people who claim that have a direct pipeline.
yeah,
to God themselves.
They have the burner phone God gave them.
Exactly, untraceable.
And on the third day, God sent the burner phone to the Catholic Church.
Jesus, man, just fucking end world hunger. Like,
The
seriously.
Nokia has 2 phone numbers, Jesus and God.
It's on speed dial.
Exactly.
And when you press 9, instead of going to 911, it goes to God.
Yeah.
All right, and it doesn't matter if you have service or not. So all of that happened. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, the coolest thing happened last week. Nickelback, during one show, they had to call it quits because Chad Kroeger's voice was not on point, and everybody left the show happy.
Act of God, in my opinion. We're on act of God. We're on the whole God subject. Act of God.
How bad was his voice that he thought it was bad enough that he didn't want to continue?
Maybe he pulled a falling in reverse and decided not to.
Do you think the laptop crapped out?
No, I was gonna say I decided not to warm up before the set, thinking he was.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. Yeah,
He's Chad Kroeger.
He's Chad. He's better than Chris Motionless. Like
He's better than everybody.
Like. We always gotta bring him up because he's in every week, but this week he wasn't really in any news.
No, he was.
Oh,
I just didn't want to bring him up because he was like there was at least four.
Okay, let's bring him up.
4 news articles about our boy RR, double R.
Double R, yeah. He pulled Chad. He pulled a double R. Decided to sing without warming up, and realized he wasn't double R.
Yeah, one of the things double R did this last week was that he had some. Transphobic comments on TikTok, and his TikTok account got taken down.
Guess what's a normal week?
Yeah, is that even news anymore?
Yeah, but I feel like we need just a segment on this show, like a brand new segment. Just what did RR do?
Well, that's one of the things he did.
What did Double R do?
I mean, he did
week?
other things, but to be honest with you, I don't even pay attention anymore. It's every
He
other
does
day.
so
Every
much.
other day, he says something stupid or does something stupid. Or what have you. Like, I mean, it's to the point where I think he's just trying to stay relevant and staying in the press all the time. So if I keep saying stupid shit all the time, people keep talking about me. I'm getting down to that being the case. I can't think of anything else. Like seriously, I don't know. He's becoming a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's It's kind of like, the first time was kind of cute, but now it's just kind of, we've been here before.
Exactly.
Whatever, let's just move on. So, yeah, so he was in the news a couple of times, and he doubled down on some of the comments, and whatever. I'm not here to say one way or another. I believe that you have the freedom to say whatever you want, but you're not free of consequences. You have freedom to say it, but then there's consequences that comes from things that you say. And there's obviously a difference between freedom of speech and hate speech. The two things are not equal to one another. So I always find it funny when people say freedom of speech. Yeah, you're free to come in my house and call me an asshole, but I'm also free to grab you and throw you out of the house. One thing doesn't stop the other. Your freedom ends where mine starts.
Exactly.
So, anyways, this guy is always in the news, and so it's nothing new.
Nothing
there.
special.
Nothing new.
He didn't
there.
do anything to surprise me.
No, but the Nickelback thing, it was kind of shocking.
It was just funny.
I thought it was time for them to turn on the laptop when things went sour, but it wasn't to be had. So what else happened? You have something that happened?
What do you mean, Lizzo?
Yeah, well, it didn't happen to you, but you brought it to me because I didn't hear about it.
This is where we moved from the metal stuff and just into the music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all I know is that Lizzo apparently, while she was on tour, she was like fat shaming her backup dancers, which. God, that's so funny.
The only way she
not to the backup dancers. Like, obviously, it's a form of bullying where it's like you're being bullied by your boss.
Yeah, but when you first told me, the first thing I thought was that she was shaming them for not being fat enough. But that's not the case.
No.
Because if that was the case, that would have been okay, because she's also big, so she could say, no, I want everybody to be as big as me.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that's okay, but at least I could understand that and allow it to be more acceptable. But that's not the case. The case is, don't judge me for being big, but let me judge you for being
big.
Too big. Not that they were too big, but they were too big.
No, if anything, they're skinnier than her.
Anybody's skinnier. Even I'm skinnier than her.
I'm pretty skinny. I'm anorexic compared to her.
I know.
But like, I like how I never hated on Lizzo, right? Because I'm a big dude myself.
So less what she looks like.
No, I could care less. I feel like her music is what people should have judged her for, less on who she like.
And that's kind of the message she's always.
But that's the message. But I was always supportive of that message, right? Like, even though I don't listen to Lizzo's music, like I'll hear a song here and there from friends. Like, I was very supportive of her message of, don't judge me on what I look like, judge me on what I produce.
Or what I wear.
Or whatever, right? And I'm always down for that, because I'm a big guy myself, right? So I feel that pain, right? I feel that. But now I want to make fun of her, because it's like, how are you going to spread that message and then fat shame people? What's the end goal here, right? Like,
it's do what I say, don't do what I do. Just like the Catholic Church.
Yeah. It's like that's like someone drinking, going up to you and being like, hey, if you drink.
That's her, you know what it is? That's her saying that I have the right to look the way I want to look and do whatever it is that I want, but people that work for me have to follow these strict guidelines.
Exactly.
And it's completely hypocritical of her.
Exactly.
But that's the world that we live in.
But it's just funny, because all the people who followed her, and were also with me on that, supporting, because they also feel that way. Now they're making fun of her, and they're doing exactly what she didn't want them to do, and what they don't want to happen to them, but they're doing it to her, because it's like, now we're all bonding over this one person to hate, because they are the biggest hypocrite now. And it's just very funny to me, because I never really poked fun at Lizzo or anything like that. But now all I can do is just find how funny the situation is.
Didn't she force them to eat bananas out of people's
I told
pussies?
you that, yeah. Apparently, don't quote me on this. Apparently, someone said that they were forcing, while they were in Amsterdam, they were forcing her to eat.
I think story checks out. Amsterdam is where the story checks out. Okay, go ahead.
They were forcing the backup dancers to eat bananas out of prostitute vaginas.
Were they peeled?
I hope.
I know, but then they would break. Like I don't think you can have the whole thing unpeeled.
Oh, so you think you'd put it in and then peel
just
it?
peel it.
Ah, yes.
If you unpeeled the banana and you tried to insert the banana, that whole it's like fake Lego. That shit doesn't stick together. It's all gonna fall apart.
True.
It's all gonna fall apart.
True.
No. It has to be as a full banana, and then once it's in, then you peel.
That's it's so weirdly nasty. Like, it's such a weird thing. Like, when I heard it, I'm like, this can't be real. Like, fat shaming is funny because it's so hypocritical for her.
It's not funny, but like...
No, it was funny as fuck. To hear the fact that this person who's so against fat shaming, that's so funny. That's like finding out one of the leaders of BLM is racist. Like, that's so backwards logic.
Oh, or the leader of the Proud Boys is black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I get it.
He's a left-wing black guy. Like,
okay, I get it.
It's like...
Right wing.
Oh, yeah.
Proud Boys are right wing.
No, I'm saying left wing because he would be left wing and like it would be the total opposite of what he's pushing.
Okay.
So that's what I found
it
funny.
It would be that Chappelle character. And anyhow.
Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And that was funny to me, but the other one was just kind of weirdly gross. Like it was kind of out there. Like
she's treading this R. Kelly waters here. Do you know what I'm saying?
But then she came out, and then I read just now she came out with a statement saying normally I wouldn't address these false accusations.
That's a lot of people accusing her of this behavior.
Dude, it's her backup dancers, like
and people who worked with her before. People who are choreographing her dance routines and whatever. This is not just one or two people. This is a lot,
man. And she came out. Normally, I wouldn't address these false accusations, but as they have gotten out of control, I have to address them. That's all I read. So, I don't know what the fuck is happening in that situation. I just find it very hypocritical.
This reminds me, to finish on this note, this reminds me, I was watching a show called Jewish Matchmaker. And there was a big girl there, like really big girl there. And when the matchmaker asked her, like, can you give me, like, some of the things that you're looking for in a guy? Oh. She said, I want a dude that's buffed and goes to the gym every day. And I was like, the guy who's buffed and goes to the gym every day, he doesn't want to go out with you. People have this complete lack of self-awareness. It would be like me going, like, on a dating app looking for, like, the hottest chick ever. The hottest chick ever wants the hottest guy ever. They don't want me. I gotta find somebody who's in my lane.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, seriously, know your role and stay in your fucking lane. You know, it's just like people try to play above the rim when they don't even have a perimeter shot. Never mind dunking. You know, so like I always find that hilarious. When I was single, when I was your age, and I was dating, and I was talking to friends about dating and whatever, I always said that everybody wants the Porsche. I fucking want a Porsche too, but I can't afford the insurance, I can't afford the premium gas.
So I got a Volvo.
I got a fucking Kia. Or I got a Skoda. I got a Skoda for those of you in Europe. I got a fucking Skoda. Like, but knowing my limitations. Plus, if I'm driving a fucking Porsche, I'm always going to be afraid that somebody's going to steal it.
Yeah.
Always, because I know, like, I can barely make the payments. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know, though.
I want to live a comfortable life. I want to know that I can leave my car parked outside with the keys in the ignition and nobody's going to take it. On, and nobody's going to take it. That was always my approach. I'm going to be your fucking lemon and you can be my lemon. That's all there is to it. Find somebody in your lane and be happy with that. Use your eyes. Your eyes eat too. So you can use your eyes to, like, that's really nice over there, whatever.
But also, you have to, like, it's different, right? Because looks is looks, right? But you could have a suave about you that's kind of, it ups your rating a little bit.
That is true, too. I've met girls that were so ugly that they were good looking. Because the personality was cool.
That's a funny way to phrase it. It's a really funny way.
Like they looked like they fell off the ugly tree and they hit every branch on the way down.
But it's so enjoyable to talk to them.
Exactly, their personality is fucking
which makes
cool.
them very attractive.
Exactly. That's why you can never judge a book by its cover. Unless it's Playboy
then you can
or Hustle. Then you can judge all you want.
Judge all you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's why I always I'm very, like, I guess, open to talking to everybody. And whatever, because for me...
And a lot of the times you see a girl that's really good looking, or in the reverse, you meet a guy that's really good looking, and the moment you start talking to them, you're completely turned off.
No, that's very much the case, especially because, like, even in high school and stuff, there was a lot of chicks that I would think are 10s, but I knew them personally, and I knew that they had the personality of soggy paper. So I would never in a million years go near them, because I like having conversations. I enjoy, people telling me their days or whatever. If you are not fun to talk to, don't talk to me. Like, you have to be able to hold a conversation.
Yeah, you have to be able to talk.
Talk.
At the very minimum.
Minimum.
All right, so
I
this
don't even
is
know how the fuck we got into that.
Lizzo
Lizzo, yeah.
with her lard ass. Fuck.
Dude,
Unreal.
dude, now people are looking at the video of Aries Spears talking shit on her, saying she looked like the shit emoji. Like, this was before this all happened, right? And he was going in on her, and all the Lizzo supporters were like, wow, you know, him saying she's ugly when he looks like a piece of shit too, because obviously Aries got a little bit of, but he got that swagger though. That's the thing about Aries, like,
I don't even know who that is, but okay.
What do you mean? I've shown you videos of him. He's a comedian. Like, he, you know, he may not be a 10 in the looks department, but his personality got him a little bit higher on that tier list.
The bank account helps too.
Yeah, but like, people were going in on him on that stuff because he's making fun of Lizzo. I saw so many people repost that video saying, "Oh God, how this has aged well."
I just think that, first of all, I don't care who you are. People are people. And I don't care what message you could come out with the greatest message in the world and whatever. There's always going to be some skeletons in your closet. So, you know, take it for what it is. Take it for what it's worth.
But I think that's
but people are shit.
I think that's what makes
it. So would Slipknot say.
I think that's what makes it always funnier to me is the people who
when they fell off the pedestal.
No, the people fighting for change are the people who are not willing to change.
No, they want to fight for change for how they're perceived themselves, but
they want to treat others
the way they don't want themselves to be treated. That's the problem.
But, honestly,
but that's the problem across the board.
It's a problem across the board, but it's so funny to me. Whenever it gets exposed, it's very funny to me.
I agree with you.
And especially this whole situation, I've been loving the internet meme community after this came out. That's what the exact place I went after I heard about this was, like, TikTok and Twitter, just to see what was created, and God, was it funny.
All right. On that note, I think we gave you the rundown of the week, so hit us up if you have any other stories that we missed, or give us your thoughts on the ones that we just shared with you, and we'll see you all next week with another video.
See ya.